Hi everyone, welcome to the Kevin and Julie Personal Wellbeing and Financial Health channel. Today we will be talking about positivity. Yes, positivity. Why, you ask? Well, I've often been asked as a very positive person, how do I stay positive day in and day out? Well, it's your luck. Today I will share my tips and tricks and how I do this. The main thing that you need to know about positivity is that it's not about being happy all the time. This is a myth. And I will be very honest, as a very positive person, I'm not happy about all the time. What is important is about perspective, because being happy all the time is actually impossible. As a human being, we have ups and downs, and we have to play and be in those ups and downs and live through those emotions. What I'm talking about when talking about positivity is about the perspective and the choices that we make every single day with the lifestyle and how we're going to view situations. And that's what I mean about positivity. So let me get into this. There's two main components that I wanted to share that are my tips and tricks for me to stay positive, and that has done a lot for me in life, and that has really helped me. So, first of all is about intentions. You say, okay, what do you mean by intentions, Julie? Well, intention is about every single day things are going to happen, and we have a tendency, obviously, to interact with others, and sometimes we misunderstand an interpretation of something that has been said or done by another individual. And yes, as a human being, we have a tendency to see it negatively, and well, we want to blame or we want to take revenge. What I've decided to do is have this simple golden rule. I call it, you know what? I believe that everyone has a good intention. And you know what? It actually is true. Most of the time, everyone has a good intention. And they are not here when they're doing an action or saying something, there to actually pin you down, to break you down, or to do anything of harm. The intention sometimes will come out really wrong because you know what? We're not always great communicators, and we sometimes are tired, frustrated, had a bad day, and it comes out all wrong. So by assuming that someone has a great intention and that something might have happened for the message to come out wrong, it gives me and has me stay in a curious mind state to ask the person what has happened, to share what the triggers or what the intention or the way that it was transmitted to me as a message done for me, so then that way the other person can understand and then have a very healthy conversation and understand the intent. It's so much more easier that way than staying frustrated and aggravated for hours, and that affects your whole day, your whole body, and that's not useful for all at all. So that's my first main thing. I assume that every intention, actions, words that were said to me is coming from a good place in someone's heart. And then I try to stay in that curious mode to better understand and have that conversation. Second of all, it's all about perspective. I used to be a very black and white type of person, and that was so difficult because every situation came to me as a right or wrong, good or bad, black or white. And well, if you think about it this way, it's really hard to have flexibility when you're in that mindset of one spectrum to the other spectrum. So instead, I've decided what I call my gray zones. So anything that comes up or happens in my day-to-day life, I try to bring in those gray zones. And I actually say that out loud. What is the gray zone part of this situation? It really helps my brain, again, stay in that curious mind and maybe more logically try to understand what the situation is all about. By doing that, I stay much more positive and understand a little bit more, and it also helps me be better prepared because the black and white was really not useful. So I throw that out the door now and I bring in my gray zones. It's almost like thinking about life in general would be either a 0 or 100%. That's impossible. Even your cell phone can't be 0 or 100% all the time, right? Exactly. So those are my two main ways that I use positivity and really help myself to be positive every single day. And then it's just the main intent of wanting to be positive and wanting to bring in positivity and energy within my life, because it's so easy to be negative. It's so easy to have difficult situations. We're living in a world where it's not always easy to understand what's going on, and there's so many things that can happen, so many bad news. So I just decided from the get-go to be positive and to bring that back up. So for me, this is the way that I really organize myself to be positive. I'm not sure if there's anything else that any of you do, and it would be very interesting if you could share in the comments below. I would really love to know, how do you ensure that you do positivity? One last thing that I wanted to share is about placing yourself an intent in the morning. This is another key tool that I wanted to share, because each morning I wake up and I put myself a positive mindset in the morning. That way I start off my first morning, my first breath, my first step with a really positive mindset. I don't know what's going to happen throughout the day, but I've put and implemented in my brain. And if you watch a lot of my other videos, I talk about brain training. And it comes back to this approach of putting that positive mindset. So yes, it's exercise. Yes, it's work, but it's so much more useful. It's so much more easier. And my life is really simple, and I don't sweat the small stuff. I really want to make sure that I enjoy every minute, that I don't spend too much time on negative stuff, because you know what? It affects the body. Yes, it affects the body. Because you know what? When we're stressed, the body feels it. When we're negative, we tend to slouch, to not be well, and then we'll eat not well. We're going to be not exercising. We're not going to be motivated, and that affects the overall wellness of our body. And so you really can't lose with being positive, because it's so helpful holistically. So I hope that all the tips and tricks that I've shared with you today was very useful. I'm really hoping that we can have a conversation with comments below. If this is a video that you've enjoyed, I would like for you to like and click on the like button, and maybe subscribe to our channel. I really want to share more information with you, and so that would be a good confirmation that this is things that you're really enjoying. So thank you so much for watching, and I really hope that we can continue and have conversations on all of this from our living room to yours. Have a great night, and see you soon.